Okay, let's go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to all so you'll be notified of all the new content that I'm pushing out. And with that, let's get into this story. I chose this story. It's about an inmate that gets killed in the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. We all know, we've heard stories, seen it on the news. Fulton County Jail in Georgia is a very violent county jail, just like lots of violent county jails. I know I did one story about Riverside County Jail, and an inmate got killed in Riverside County. I did a story on that, and I want to continue to do stories, not just prison inmates that getting killed in prison, but the county. People aren't aware of how dangerous county jails are. County jails are actually more dangerous than prison in a lot of places. A lot of places. And a lot of places, the county jails are very, docile, very mild. But I wanted to do this because I think I'm going to continue to show, because a lot of this has to do with these counties jails is mixing people together. Again, you don't know what you're going to get. So let's get on with the story here, and we'll go from there. So that's Horace Gibbs. That is the victim in this story. I'm going to leave him up there while I talk about the story. So another person has died after being incarcerated at the Fulton County Jail. In the early morning hours of October 4th, Horace Gibbs, age 63, was discovered unresponsive when his cellmate, Ernest Johnson, age 52, notified deputies. So his cellie notified the COs, the deputy COs there. Gibbs was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy was performed by the Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office, and that ruled Gibbs' death a homicide. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division has charged Johnson with felony murder, aggravated assault, strangulation. Gibbs and Johnson are Fulton County Jail residents housed at the Cobb County Jail. On September 2nd, 2022, Gibbs, Horace Gibbs there, was arrested by Atlanta Police Department for criminal trespass, willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, and simple battery against a police officer, police dog, corrections, or detention officer, and was being held on a $12,500 bond. He was the victim. That's the victim right there, Horace Gibbs. Ernest Johnson, who was the aggressor, was arrested on September 6th of 2024 by the Union City Police Department for 3 counts of terrorist threats and acts and 2 counts of willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, and is being held on a $6,500 bond. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office outsources residents to Cobb County, Oconee County, I don't know how to pronounce that, so you just got to bear with me, and the Atlanta City Detention Center. And that happens a lot. So where I'm at right now in the state I live in, the county that I live in used to have a county jail. They did away with the county jail, and now they have a regional jail. And what the regional jail is, it's like 4 counties. It's 4 counties, and they all have a regional jail. So all 4 of those connecting counties, that's where the inmates go. But the county that I worked in, when our jail would get full, we would have to outsource. And it was, you know how it goes. The jails are always over full. And so when it was overfilled, then we would have to send them to other adjacent counties, other inmates. So that's how that goes in. And they have several different ones they use. It sheds light on deeper issues at the jail. On January 10th, Michael Anthony Holland was found unresponsive in his cell at the Rice Street Jail. He was later pronounced dead after being transported to Grady Memorial Hospital. In 2023, 10 inmates died at the jail. The deaths occurred during a time when the national media focused on the Fulton County Jail after former President Donald Trump was being booked at the facility on a RICO charge in August of 2023. But unlike the former president, many of the people who are booked into the jail aren't able to post bond and leave within an hour. The horror stories from detainees and visitors to the Rice Street facility has remained consistent. The passing of LaShawn Thompson also made national news in September of 2022. Thompson was found dead in a filthy jail cell with sores from insect bites all over his body. Thompson was reportedly severely bitten by bed bugs in his cell, which was also infested with lice. That's disgusting. So, here's our victim here. Again, Horace Gibbs, he's been up here the whole time. And then the aggressor, that's Ernest Johnson. That's the alleged aggressor. Well, he's being charged with murder. And I'm guessing I'm assuming by strangulation, the way they talked in the report. But let's go ahead and take him down off of there. So basically, I just kind of wanted to talk about the county jails. I wanted to cover this story because, like, when just like when Trump got booked into the county jail in Atlanta, like they said, they were talking about how violent the county jail was. And just my own experience on both sides of the fence. Again, when I was younger, being in there, and older, working in law enforcement field, doing several different jobs, I've seen it. It happens all the time. It's dangerous in a lot of these county jails. I've heard a number of people tell me, like, look, I'd rather just go straight to prison than sit in that and then to be in that county jail, because the COs there are dirty, crooked. I mean, you have that everywhere, prison too, but it's more prevalent in the county jails. And then again, so say you're in there for a misdemeanor, nonviolent offense, a lesser charge, something minor, and you're celled up with a murderer, guy that's being, tried for 5 murders. You know what I mean? He's a gangbanger. You're not. You're just, there's a lot in the county jails. A lot of them don't care. They don't segregate. They just throw them all in the pot. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for you today. I'm going to cover some more county jails and the violence in the county jails, along with the CDCR, because I do, a lot of stories on the CDCR. Go check out that video I did. I know it's, for some reason it's not gotten a lot of views. It's an interview with a friend of mine. He lives in Norway. He's lived there his whole life. He was born and raised there. He was in prison in Norway. And California is basing the California model, is what they're calling it, the California model, off the Norway project. And with him being in prison in Norway, it's insane what he talks about. Go check that video out. Again, and how California thinks they're going to implement that in Norway, when he explains about how crime is there in Norway and how crime is in the United States and in California. So anyways, go check that video out. It's a good video. It was an interview. I interviewed him. I think I'm going to interview him again to touch bases on some other things within the prisons, and if you got any questions you want me to ask him, You know, maybe I can do a live with him. I'm not sure. If not, leave a comment down below on that video. Anyways, I wanted to cover the county jails because they are violent. The thing is the news doesn't pick up on the county jail violence as much as they do prison violence. Because say in prison, it's a 3-on-1, or it's more brutal, or nah, the county jails are just as brutal. Difference is they don't have the structure in the county jails, or the manpower, or the people, or the COs are not as, they're too laid back and lazy. You know how many times I've, in my own experience, working the jobs that I've worked in that field, I don't care which field it was in, people did not want to do paperwork. So instead of doing paperwork, and say your job is protecting inmates, you're a CO, your job is to make sure people don't get killed or get hurt or get whatever happens to them. That's your job. Instead of doing the paperwork and actually doing your job, they're turning a blind eye to it. They just turn their backs. They didn't see it. They don't want to see it. That way they don't have to do the paperwork. But when something does happen, like this, where an inmate gets killed, you don't have a choice but to do paperwork. Where were you at? How'd this happen? You know what I mean? There's a lot of ifs. A lot of people lose their jobs. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys today on this Sunday. I hope God bless you, and I hope you're having a great Sunday. And we'll see you on the next video. Peace out.